stop for a moment. Hold your breath. Don't move. Something is happening to you right now. And even if you can't see it with your eyes or touch it with your hands, your spirit has already felt the shift rising beneath your ribs like a trembling wave. There is a voice calling your name in the unseen, a pull on the deepest part of your soul, a pressure behind your thoughts that feels like destiny trying to break through the noise of your life. You are not here by coincidence. You did not encounter these words by chance. There is a divine interruption taking place, a sacred disruption designed to pull you out of the places where your spirit has been sleeping. I am opening something inside you right now, awakening a memory you thought you never carried, stirring a remembrance that predates your birth. Listen carefully, because everything that will unfold from this moment forward is being written into the spiritual blueprint of your life. What you feel right now is real. The trembling in your chest is real. The rise in your awareness is real. You have walked through seasons of silence, but this is not silence. This is the moment before revelation. Do not resist it. Before you go any deeper, write your warmest wishes in the comments and place 777 beside them, because that number will act as a spiritual activation code for what is being unlocked in you right now. Let your desires speak. Let your hopes breathe. Let your future hear its name. And after you write it, like this video and subscribe with intention, not casually, not lightly, but with the weight of someone who understands that their life is stepping into a turning point. Do it because your soul is reaching for something it has been starving for. Do it because your spirit recognizes this moment as a lifeline, a truth line, a pull from something higher. This message was meant to catch you at this exact second, in this exact way. Do not hesitate. Do it now. You have been wandering through inner deserts no one else saw, carrying the weight of thoughts you never dared to speak aloud. Your soul has been hungry even when your body looked strong. You have been functioning, surviving, smiling. But your spirit has been whispering for something deeper, something ancient, something that resonates beyond explanations. There is a reason you always felt different, a reason you sensed things others ignored, a reason your inner alarms went off before danger ever showed its face. Your spiritual biology does not function like everyone else's. Your intuition has always been a living sensor, a divine antenna wired into realms you were never taught to understand. You are walking through life with Eden memory embedded in your cells, a memory that wakes up whenever truth passes near you. And right now, that memory is glowing. It is unfolding like a scroll inside the marrow of your bones, reminding you that you came here with purpose, precision, and a frequency that refuses to die even in your darkest seasons. There are things happening in your body right now, subtle shifts, small pulses, almost like invisible fingertips tapping at the back of your consciousness. This is not imagination. This is cellular reconstruction. Angels are performing surgery in unseen realms while you sit here reading, stitching back the torn places of your soul, aligning broken frequencies, repairing spiritual nerves, that have been misfiring for years. You have been carrying wounds that were never yours to carry. Generational burdens that seeped into your bloodstream, spiritual toxins that traveled through your family line. But now the reconstruction has begun. There is a divine rewiring happening inside your emotional DNA. What broke you is losing authority. What drained you is being disconnected. The old codes are being erased even as the new ones activate. And your spirit can already feel the difference. The pressure, the warmth, the sudden clarity that feels like the air in the room just changed its density. Many of the struggles you faced were not random. They were engineered to suffocate the part of you that was born awakened. Hidden enemies sensed your calling before you did. Spirits of confusion tried to distort your identity. People who were not meant to stay were magnetized to you for reasons you never understood, draining you without ever giving back. You thought it was emotional exhaustion, but it was timeline interference. You thought it was heartbreak, but it was destiny sabotage. You thought it was loneliness, but it was divine isolation meant to sharpen your hearing for this exact moment. Every delay had a blueprint. Every betrayal had a prophecy attached to it. Every closed door was a redirection, not a rejection. Nothing was wasted. Not even your tears were wasted. They watered ground you didn't know you were planting for your future self. There was a moment years ago, even if you can't remember it clearly, when your spirit tried to awaken early. It happened in the middle of a night when you couldn't sleep, or during a conversation that suddenly felt heavy, or in the instant your heart knew something was wrong, even when everything looked normal. That moment was the first spark. That was when heaven marked you for the journey you're in right now. People around you didn't recognize it. You didn't understand it. But something eternal broke open inside you, and from that moment forward, you were no longer allowed to live like everyone else. Your timeline was set apart. Your path diverged from the ordinary. Your spirit stepped into a frequency that demanded transformation. And because of that, you've been fighting battles no one else sees. Nights where your silence felt like a battlefield. Mornings where you woke up tired even after sleep because your spirit was fighting wars while your body rested. Sudden waves of emotion that made no logical sense. These were not mood swings. They were spiritual alerts. These were not random anxieties. They were frequencies clashing inside you. Your soul has been trying to pull you into alignment, but life kept pulling you into noise. But now, the noise is breaking. The veil is thinning. The truth is rising in you like light, pushing through cracks in a door that has been locked for years. You are stepping into a supernatural transformation that will rewrite everything you thought you knew about yourself. And this is only the beginning. The shift inside you is not slowing down. It is accelerating with every second you remain here. Something is unfolding behind the curtain of your reality. Something ancient and assigned. Something whispered by angels long before you ever took your first breath. Your soul has been waiting for this alignment, this unlocking, this moment where the noise of your surroundings finally loses its grip and the truth inside you rises to the surface like a tide that refuses to be held back. You are not experiencing coincidence. You are experiencing divine synchronization. The timing is too precise, the pull too specific, the inner stirring too familiar. You are stepping into the frequency where nothing about your life is accidental. Every thought, every sensation, every internal tremor is responding to a call higher than your logic can process. Your spirit is remembering what your mind has forgotten. For years you have been trying to outrun a feeling you couldn't name, a quiet pressure in your chest, a sense that something was waiting for you just beyond the edge of your understanding. You dismissed it as stress, as imagination, as emotional exhaustion. But that feeling was the echo of your true path, vibrating inside your bones, tapping against your consciousness, urging you to stop living beneath your calling. You don't realize how much you've endured just to make it to this moment. You don't see how many times your soul was nearly crushed under the weight of situations designed to derail you. There were nights when despair tried to wrap itself around your throat. There were days when your heart felt like it was carrying centuries of fatigue. Yet something inside you refused to break. Something kept fighting even when you were certain you had nothing left. That wasn't your strength alone. That was divine reinforcement. Angels stood beside you when you thought you were standing alone. You have no idea how many times heaven intervened without you noticing. How many accidents were prevented because your timeline was protected. How many betrayals were revealed just before they could damage your destiny. How many friendships dissolved because their presence would have contaminated your spiritual frequency. Not every loss was a loss. Some closures were spiritual surgery. Some departures were divine sanitation. You were being purified from attachments that looked safe, but carried hidden corruption. Every person who left your life made space for something your soul desperately needed, but didn't know how to ask for. There were rooms where your name was not allowed to stay because the atmosphere would have suffocated your gift. There were opportunities that collapsed because they weren't aligned with the version of you heaven was building. Your spirit has always been sensitive because you were built differently. Your emotional circuitry was designed to detect dishonesty, deception, and danger before they took form. You're not dramatic, you're prophetic. You're not overthinking, you're spiritually wired. You're not too emotional. You feel the vibrations of the unseen with a precision most people could never comprehend. That sensitivity was not a burden. It was protection. It shielded you from partnerships that would have stolen your purpose. It warned you of people who smiled at you while plotting your downfall. It pulled you away from paths that would have destroyed your destiny long before the damage could manifest physically. That inner alarm you always felt, those sudden stomach drops, those chills, those gut reactions, those were divine signals pulsating through your spirit. Right now, your soul is undergoing a frequency alignment. The same way a radio must be tuned precisely to catch a clear signal, your spirit is being adjusted to catch the transmissions meant for your life at this exact season. That pressure you feel in your chest isn't anxiety, it's calibration. That tingling in your hands isn't random, it's activation. That warmth on your back, that sensation of eyes on you, that sudden clarity in your thoughts. These are markers of spiritual proximity. Angels are standing near you. They are adjusting your inner wiring, reconnecting the circuits that were damaged by disappointment, trauma, heartbreak, and betrayal. This is divine rewiring. What was numb is waking up. What was broken is being rebuilt. What was silenced is beginning to speak again. There is a testimony hidden inside you, one you haven't even lived yet, but heaven has already written. There will come a moment when you look back at this exact season and realize it was the doorway. This was the crossing. This was the shift where your old self dissolved and your true identity took control. People will not recognize you because you will not carry the same spiritual scent. Your presence will feel different. Your energy will feel different. Your voice will carry a resonance that will make others pause, not understanding why their spirit reacts to you the way it does. You will become a living sign, a walking revelation, a reminder of what divine intervention looks like when it chooses a human vessel. There are things that were delayed in your life, relationships, opportunities, breakthroughs, not because you weren't deserving, but because your inner frequency couldn't sustain them at the time. Had they come earlier, they would have collapsed. Had they arrived prematurely, they would have been destroyed by the limitations of who you used to be. But now your inner world is being rebuilt with divine precision. This is spiritual engineering. This is destiny-specific reconstruction. You are being shaped into someone who can carry what you once prayed for without cracking under the weight. What you thought was punishment was preparation. What you interpreted as abandonment was alignment. Every moment of silence was an instruction being written into your bones. Your timeline is shifting even now. The ground beneath your spirit is rearranging. Reality is bending around your calling. You are stepping into a future that has been waiting for you since the beginning of your existence. And nothing, no force, no person, no attack can stop what is already unfolding. There is a reason your spirit feels different lately. A reason your thoughts have been shifting in ways you can't fully explain. Something inside you has been trying to break free, trying to rise, trying to breathe beyond the limits placed on you by your past, your environment, and the people who underestimated the weight of your calling. You have felt disconnected from things that once comforted you, because those things were built for an older version of you that no longer exists. Your soul is evolving, mutating, stretching into dimensions you couldn't access before. Every part of your internal world is expanding, and that expansion is dismantling anything that cannot grow with you. This is why familiar things suddenly feel foreign. This is why old desires feel empty. This is why certain connections feel uncomfortable now. Your spirit is outgrowing what your mind is still trying to hold on to. There is an ancient law written into the pattern of creation. When a soul is ready to rise, nothing around it feels the same. The atmosphere shifts. The energy feels charged, The body reacts before the mind understands. You might feel random waves of tiredness, sensitivity to sounds, pressure on the forehead or chest, sudden emotional surges, or an unexplainable trembling in the hands. These are not coincidences. These are signals of ascension. Your spiritual biology is being activated. The parts of you that were dormant are waking up, stretching, sensing, remembering. Eden memories resurfacing. The original design hidden in your DNA is awakening. You were never meant to live numb. You were never meant to walk blind. You were never meant to feel disconnected from the divine frequencies that created you. What you feel now is a homecoming of the Spirit. There are angels watching over this transformation with an intensity you cannot imagine. They are not distant, floating somewhere unreachable. They are near, moving around you, adjusting the energy in the room, cleansing the atmosphere, removing invisible threads that have been draining your soul. You may not see them, but your body recognizes their presence. That sudden warmth that wraps around your shoulders, that cool breeze that touches your neck with no source, that subtle shift in the air pressure when you're alone. These are not random sensations. These are encounters. They are performing surgery in realms your eyes cannot see, sealing wounds you forgot you had, repairing the fractures in your soul, stitching together the pieces of your identity that life scattered across the years. And as they work, your inner world is stabilizing. Your clarity is sharpening. Your discernment is upgrading. You have been attacked more than you realize, not in obvious ways, but in subtle, strategic, spiritual ways designed to break your confidence, fracture your identity, and confuse your path. There were moments when hopelessness felt louder than truth, moments when fear felt stronger than faith, moments when you questioned your own worth. These attacks were not random. They were targeted. Hidden forces recognized your potential long before you did. They sensed your rising frequency. They detected the blueprint you carry. They knew what you would become if your spirit ever unlocked its full capacity. And so they tried to blur your vision. They tried to drain your strength. They tried to drown your future in doubt. But even during the darkest moments, you never fully collapsed. Something always pulled you back. Something always kept you from falling too far. That something was purpose. Your purpose has been protecting you even in seasons where you felt abandoned. It kept your soul breathing when your mind wanted to shut down. It kept your heart beating when life pushed you beyond your limits. It kept your spirit alive when your environment tried to suffocate you. You survived storms that were meant to destroy you. You survived battles that were never meant to be won. You survived moments that would have broken someone else entirely. And because you survived, your spirit earned the right to rise in this new season. Your pain was not wasted. Your suffering was not meaningless. Every tear carried information, codes, instructions, frequency shifts that are now rewriting your destiny from the inside out. There is a version of you forming right now, a version molded by truth, sharpened by intention, refined by fire. This new version of you is fearless. This version of you is aligned. This version of you will walk with clarity, power, and awareness. This version of you will not tolerate the things that drained the old you. This version will not settle for what broke you before. This version will not remain silent when truth calls. This version will move differently, think differently, speak differently, and attract differently. Your presence will shift rooms. Your silence will carry authority. Your energy will speak before you open your mouth. You will walk like someone who carries a blueprint that cannot be stolen. This transformation is already affecting your surroundings. People who once felt familiar may now feel distant. Conversations that once entertained you now feel dull. Environments that once comforted you now feel heavy. This disconnection is not a sign of loss. It is a sign of elevation. You are rising into an atmosphere that those around you cannot breathe in. You are stepping into a frequency that exposes hidden intentions. You will begin to see people's spirits before you see their faces. You will feel lies before they are spoken. You will sense danger before it manifests. This is discernment, not paranoia, not fear. Discernment, a gift passed to those chosen to walk between realms. Your future is calling to you with a voice that sounds like your own, but stronger, wiser, deeper. You have felt glimpses of it in dreams, in sudden thoughts, in quiet moments where you felt something powerful watching over you, guiding you, preparing you. That wasn't fantasy. That was preview. Your destiny has been whispering to you for years, waiting for you to be ready, waiting for you to break the shell of who you used to be. And now the shell is cracking. Light is seeping through. Your soul is emerging like something reborn. Everything is changing. Everything is aligning. Everything is awakening. You are stepping into a moment that was written long before your fears, long before your doubts, long before anyone ever questioned your worth. There is a sacred shift unfolding around you right now, one that has been waiting for the exact alignment of your spirit, your readiness, your awakening. Everything you survived has led you here. Every silent night, every invisible battle, every unanswered question was preparing the soil of your soul for this final unveiling. You can feel it. The air around you is thicker, charged, almost humming with a frequency your body recognizes, even if your mind doesn't fully understand it yet. Something ancient is rising inside you, something that has been asleep but never dead. You are crossing a threshold you were always meant to reach, and once you step through it, nothing in your life will remain the same. This is the moment your soul has been trying to lead you toward. You have carried burdens that were never yours, fought wars you didn't choose, endured seasons that were brutal in their silence. But through all of it, there was a strange resilience in you, a stubborn flame that refused to die. That flame was the part of you heaven refused to let darkness touch. It kept you alive when life felt unbearable. It kept you moving when your strength collapsed. It kept you breathing when your spirit felt crushed. And now that flame is becoming a wildfire. It is consuming the lies you believed about yourself. It is burning away the shame, the doubt, the self-sabotage, the fear. What is rising in its place is clarity, sharp, undeniable clarity. You are not who your pain tried to turn you into. You are not who people labeled you as when they didn't understand your spirit. You are who you were written to be, and that identity is reclaiming you right now. Everything that once broke you is losing its power. The cycles that repeated over and over are snapping. The emotional patterns that held you hostage are dissolving. The heaviness that clung to your chest for years is lifting. Even now, you can feel pieces of yourself returning, pieces that were stolen, buried, or forgotten. Your spirit is gathering itself, rising, aligning, becoming whole. You are regaining spiritual territory you didn't know you lost. The part of you that could sense danger before it appeared is waking. The part of you that could feel truth without explanation is awakening. The part of you that could walk through darkness and still remain intact is resurfacing with greater strength than ever before. This is resurrection at the soul level. You are being pulled into a future that has been calling your name through every season you survived. And the pull is no longer gentle. It is forceful, intentional, undeniable. It is the tug of destiny, the gravity of purpose, the magnetism of truth rearranging everything around you. What is coming for you is not small. It is not ordinary. It is not fragile. It is a transformational shift that will alter the way you speak, the way you move, the way you carry yourself, the way you make decisions. You will look back on this exact moment and recognize it as the moment everything changed, the moment your soul finally stepped into alignment with what it was created to become. Walk forward now. Do not hesitate. Do not shrink back. Do not let fear negotiate with your future. You are ready. You are chosen for this rise, and the path unfolding before you is the one your spirit has been begging you to follow. Step into it. This is your moment. This is your becoming. This is the beginning of the life you were meant to live.